This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, hi, good morning all. So let's get started now. So we are working on the data transform, right? So why we use data transform? Yeah, so mainly to default the values to the properties and transforming the data, like so moving the data from one page to another page, or one page list to another page list, or let's say you have the list of pages and you want to take only certain pages based on the condition, so you can also do that. Okay, so likewise, so now we are going to work on a scenario, the copying current address to permanent address details. So let's say you are filling a passport application, so where you need to provide your current address details as well as the permanent address, right? So if your permanent address is same as the current address, then you don't need to enter again. So let's say you will have a checkbox, upon that checkbox selection, so the current address details will be copied to permanent address details. Okay, clear? So now I am going to draw here. So let's say so this is our user interface and this is the current address and this is the permanent address. Okay, so let's say address line 1, address line 2, country state, zip like this. Okay, city and zip code. Okay, so you will have the same details in the permanent also, right? So will you see the different details or same? Same. Okay, so now here, so we'll have a checkbox, copy current address. Okay, so this will be the checkbox property, and when you select the checkbox, the current address details will be copied to permanent address. So when you deselect the checkbox, let's say you haven't selected the checkbox, then so you should have option to enter the data. Okay, if it is copied to permanent, you have to make it read only so that user should not modify this data, and if it is not the same, then we need to allow user to modify the permanent address. Okay, so here the properties are same or different? Properties are same, but can we use the same property in the multiple places? So let's say in the section, so if you use address line 1 in the current address as well as permanent address, so it will hold only one value, right?
Yeah.
So in the address line 1 you enter, let's say Hydernagar. Again, if you enter the same here, or different name, so only this will be stored on the clipboard and database also. But here in this case, so later, so if you look at database or clipboard, all the details should be stored. So you need to know the current address details as well as permanent address also. Sometimes it can be different, right? Okay, so what we do is, so we create a separate data class called address details with these properties, and we create two different pages like current address and permanent address, and we use those properties through page reference. So current address dot address line 1. Okay, and permanent address dot address line 1. So is it different or same? Different, right? Obviously. So if we enter address line 1 here, that will be available under current address page, and this address line 1 will be available under permanent address page. So parents are different. Let's say if you consider pages or parents, then these are the childs. Okay, so two childs who are having the same name will be different parents, right? The similarly here. Okay, understand? Okay, let's put heading: implement, design or implement address details scenario. So we'll do step by step. So this scenario we do by using both data transform as well as activity. Okay, the step 1, create a address details data class. Just give me 1 second. So let's create a address details data class.
Can't we create that in word class?
Which one?
Data address.
The work class, how can we create? This is the data class, to create the properties. So we create under data class.
We can create properties and word class also.
Yeah, we can create, but that's what so we don't create properties in the work class usually. So we create like this, and we reference we refer those properties through pages or page list. Okay, so we don't create
in word class.
Yeah, you can create again. So how many properties you need to create? Tell me. So you need to create for current address as well as permanent address. Okay. So if we create address line 1, that we cannot use for both current address and permanent address. So you need to create 12 properties. So if we create data class with the 6 properties, whatever we have, address line 1 and address line 2, etc. And so we can create the page properties, and we can refer these properties through that page. That's what we are doing now. Okay, so if we create everything under work class, it will work. Okay, but you need to create more properties. Again, while create, like if you want to create page, for that page again you need to specify work class. So again, so you'll be able to so it will display all the properties, all the pages, page list available under the work class. Okay,
so we can create everything in data type and we can assign that in word class.
Exactly, that's what we are doing. Okay, so for borrower, so we did we created a borrower data class, created the properties, and we created a borrower page property in the work class, and so we use through page reference. So similarly here also. Okay, got it? So create a address details data class with the properties. Address line 1, address line to country, state, city. Let's say if you create country, state, city under the organization level, so you can use those properties here again, instead of creating. Okay. Okay. So we created data class with these properties. Zip, so you can have text only. Okay. Later, like we will put the validations. Let's say if the zip always should be 6-digit, right? Let's say if it is less than or more than that, so we can display message. Okay. So validations, will be done later. Okay. So now let's create a data. Let's create a page properties called current address and permanent address in the work class. Okay. So create a address details data class with the properties. This is the first step. Create current address and permanent address page properties and specify about data class as a page reference. So how can we create a page here? Go to the data model, property. Yeah, so we need to create it as a single page. So property type, change from text to single page and specify the class. What is that? Address details. So now similarly, we need to create one more page, that is permanent address, and we need to specify same data class. So now can't we save as this? Yeah. So save as and change the page name. Okay. Permanent. And the same data class we need to specify. So when you save as, it will be copied, and so we need to change the page name, not the class. Okay. So now if you look at work class, so you see both current address and permanent address. It's same like borrower. Okay. So if we expand the current address, you see the same properties, and similarly the same properties you see under permanent address also. So now on the user interface, so if we want to use the current address properties, so we need to use through this page, like current address dot address line 1, current address dot address line 2, etc. Similarly permanent address dot address line 1.
How this address one and address city country?
That's what. So this page we created by referring to this class. Correct? We created permanent address and current address, by referring to this data class. So now we'll be able to access all these properties by referring to this page. Okay. Yeah. Clear? Online guys. Similarly, see here. So we created borrower page by referring to borrower class. Means we created a borrower class and we specified for borrower page. So now we are able to use all these properties through this page. Like, how we used on the user interface, borrower dot first name, borrower dot last name, like that, right? So similarly, so in this case also, okay. So now the next step, create current address and permanent address sections. So in the current address section, we specify current address related properties, and similarly permanent address properties in the permanent address section. Okay, so we can achieve in the single section also, but in some places, let's say if you want to use only current address section, and you can use that, okay, instead of creating again. Okay, so let's create a section called, so this we are creating under work class. What is that? Let's say current address. Clear? And specify all the properties. So how we need to specify? Either you can drag it or take the control. All are text inputs, right? That means user has to enter these details. Okay. So you can copy paste like this. We need 6 controls. Right. So go to the cell properties and
Satyam,
invoke the property.
we can also drag and drop the properties, right?
Yes. Let's say current address dot address line 1. Okay. So now take this one. Now go to the second text input. Address line 2. So if we are not putting the dot here, dot current address, it will not work. Okay. This is the reference. So you can also drag it, and let's use zip. Okay. And put the layout heading as display header and title. Okay. So current address. Okay. So now similarly, so we need to create the permanent address section also. Okay. So now we can save as this and just change the current address to permanent address. Okay. Or else again so you can create it. So you create a new section and take the controls and call the properties. But we have already this structure, and just so we can save as and just change the name. And we need to change the properties also from current address to permanent address. Okay, so permanent address dot address line 1. Permanent address dot address line 2, and country, state, city, and zip. Clear? Okay, and change the layout heading from current address to permanent address. That's it. Okay, so now, so we have current address and permanent address section study, and now we are going to invoke these sections in the borrower detail section. Okay, so after entering the borrower details, borrower has to enter the address details also. Okay, the next step, invoke above created sections in the borrower section. Sorry, invoke above created sections in the borrower detail section. So how can we call one section in another section? No. Yeah, so we have an option. So let me show you that. Okay, let's open the current borrower detail section. So we have already borrower details, and inside this we are calling both current address and permanent address. So now, so here we are making a dynamic layout as inline grid triple. Okay, so first, so we need current address, then beside that, so we'll have some property, yeah, checkbox property, then permanent address. So if we want to one after one, so we can also do that by using the default. Okay, so inline grid triple means in the same row you can put 3 different controls or 3 different properties or 3 different layouts. Okay, so now make it inline grid triple. Okay, so single row, 3 different sections or 3 different elements, we can say that, we can call, right? So now under the layout group, so we have a embedded section. So this we use to invoke one section in another section. Okay, so drag this embed section, and while dragging it will ask the section which you want to invoke here. Okay, so current address. So whatever the sections we already created will be available here in the drop down, and you need to choose the corresponding one. Clear? So now similarly use one more layout. So this we use for checkbox property, and call another section, that is permanent address. That's it. Okay, so here we enter the current address, and if we select the checkbox, this permanent address will be displayed. These details will be copied to here. So now, so let's create a property called copy address details, and that should be a checkbox. Okay, the next step, create copy address details checkbox property. So we can create in 2 ways. So you go to the data model, create it, or we can create from here itself. So first you take the control. So let's say here we have a checkbox, and go to the cell properties, and you enter the property name here, copy address
Current
details.
address.
This is the property name. Okay, so create it, And so property type, we can change it from
Radio buttons.
true or false. This is equivalent to checkbox. Okay, and the checkbox caption. Select if permanent address is same as current address, or you can write the complete name. And the caption position in the presentation, so I want the caption first, then checkbox. Okay, you can choose the left option. Okay, now first you will have a checkbox, then caption. So now where we need to write the logic. So if we execute the flow and if we enter the current address and select the checkbox, this current address will be copied to permanent.
On checking box.
No, right? So we haven't written any logic for that.
Yep.
Correct. So now whenever you click on the checkbox, some logic has to be executed. That has to copy from current to permanent. So here we are going to write a data transfer. Okay, so whatever the current address we enter, those details will be available on clipboard under current address page. And so we need to copy those details from current address to permanent address page, just transforming the data. So we are not fetching it from anywhere, right? So we can achieve by using data transfer. So here go to the cell properties of checkbox and go to the actions. We can create a rules from here itself. Create an action set, event will be a click, and action is refresh, and here we can call the data transfer. Okay, so copy address details, and so here we have a just you can put generic name, or else like copy current address to permanent address. You can put that also. The label can be, it should be relevant to that. So we are just copying the address details, right? And so here we have a crosshair icon. If this rule already exists in the class, in the work class, that rule will be open. If doesn't exist, then it will create a rule form. So we don't have this rule already exist, and and this is the data transform rule form. Or you go to the data model, create a data transform, and now you invoke here. You can do in that way. Okay, clear? So మనం అక్కడ create చేసి, so you can come to the checkbox property and you invoke it. Okay, so this is the easy way, right? So again, so we need to go to the action set and create later and create the rule. Instead of doing that, you can directly create from control itself. Clear? So this is the rule we need to create. So now, so when we need to copy current address to permanent, whenever the checkbox is selected, right? So when you select the checkbox, the value will be true on the clipboard. Okay, the checkbox property value. So if it is not selected, the value will be false. So based on that value, so we need to copy it. Okay, so first what we need to do, we need to check whether the checkbox property value is true or not, right? So which action we can choose, tell me? Obviously, right? Yeah, so go to the when. Either you can create a when rule or you can put expression also like this. See, what is the checkbox property? If you are using the expression like this, you need to put the property name or else so same logic you put in the when rule and you invoke that end rule here. Okay,
How did you get to this page?
which one? This is the data transform rule form. That's what I told, right? So we need a data transform for this. So that is the reason we have created from here itself. Okay, so this is the crosshair. When you crosshair icon, so when you click this one, the corresponding rule will be open if it is exist. So since we do not have that rule, we are creating it. Okay, copy అర్థమవుతుందా? Yeah. So now the first we are checking whether the checkbox is true or not. Okay. Right. So now, so we have a action called update page. So we need to update the page called permanent address by taking the values from current address.
Current
Okay.
address.
Yeah. So which page we need to update?
Current address.
Permanent, right?
Permanent.
So you will enter the details on the current address, and you need to take the values from that and update the permanent. Okay, so here you select permanent, clear, with the values from current address. So now see, if this condition is satisfied, then only it will come to 1.1, and these are subsequent steps. Okay, 1.1.1, then 1.1.2, etc. So now here, so this is a permanent address, right? So we'll be able to use all the properties in the subsequent steps like this. See page reference, see the class. This is address details. That means this is permanent address dot address line 1. And what is the source? Current address dot address line 1. That means so current address dot address line 1 value will be assigned to permanent address dot address line 1 property. This is the source and this is the target. Okay, so now similarly put other values, assign other properties the same way. Any question here?
Sathya, what is set?
Sorry,
Action. The action.
action
Set.
where
The action.
this is property set is equivalent, assign the values to the property. So in the activity we have a property set method, right? What it does, assign the values to the
Assign to
properties.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, similarly set also, this is the value, this is the source, and this is the target, right? So whatever the value we have for the city will be assigned to this property.
Okay. So first the loop is going to condition. So then go to if the true, then it's go to the whatever we have set over the updated
That's
page, update page. So then go to the step by step. As it the
yes. Yeah, in this page, on this permanent address page, you will see all these details. Okay, once it is assigned. So now let's say user selected checkbox. So this condition will be satisfied and these values will be assigned to here. And if user deselect that checkbox, so whatever the details we have in the permanent address, those should be removed and it should be editable format, right? So how can we check that condition now? So what is the opposite condition for when? So put the cursor on when here, okay, and add one more, and this will be otherwise. Okay, if this condition is not satisfied, directly it will come here to the second step. So these are all sub steps, 1, 1.1, So if this is not satisfied, it will not execute 1.1. So this whole step will not be executed. The whole step in the sense, even all these set actions. Okay. So otherwise, what we need to do is, so we have a remove. It is like page remove. That's it. So we can remove the page. Clear? So, or else what we can do is, the first, we will test this and we can do in, so we have other options also. We can achieve that. Okay. So instead of removing the whole page, and we use, properties, this set action and assign the null values. Okay. So let's invoke this and test. Okay. Clear so far?
Satya, Peter, here pages and class not required.
Sorry?
A pages and class not required. Okay.
Here it is not required. So since we have already, this page is available in the work class, right? So we don't need to specify.
Okay, what is this warning?
Yeah.
Warning
Warning.
message.
Test create. So for, from this version, like, for every rule you need to create some test cases. So that is the generic warnings you can ignore. So in some, like in the 7.2 or in the below versions, even you don't see that option. Okay. So Pega is, the recommending that, like, for every rule we need to have some test case, so that, like, when another developer want to modify this rule, and they can, test where it is being used and all. Okay. But this is
Satya,
not mandatory.
okay. If in case if you wanna give the address line 1 data and the address line 2 data, both are similar. It means like it's a duplicate. So how then how the loop is going to be?
This is not loop. Okay. So we go for loop when we have embedded pages list. This is okay. This is not a loop. So we have, the details in the current address space like this, and we are just assigning it. This is not a loop. Okay.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So, another when means like, yeah. So again, you need to use otherwise, right? So if we have, let's say, if it is, we use otherwise when, again you need to put the condition, and so again you can do it in the same way, and then in the third step it will be otherwise. Okay. So
Satya,
if
could
you
you
have
please repeat the
multiple when
point?
rules, let's say, so if you have another condition where you need to take the values from different place, for example, so in that case we can use otherwise when. Okay. But here, so only two possibilities, right? Either true or false. Okay. So now go to the collect borrower details and submit it. So now let's, execute the flow. This is there in both auto loan and home loan. You can execute any one and see. So I'm going to enter some details here. Okay. So now I'm going to select the checkbox. Before that, we open the tracer to see, the execution process. So let's check this checkbox. Copied, right? So all the details. So what happened here? So now you observe step by step, copy address details is true. Okay. This, the status, right? So this condition returns true. So now update page, and here you see all the set actions like, 1.1.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So now let's observe deselecting the checkbox. What happened? Since this is false, it went to otherwise and the page has been removed. Okay. Now again say, okay, again this is executed, right? So now if you look at the clipboard, So where we can see these details under PY work page, you will see current address. On the current address, you see all the properties and the permanent address also. Okay. So if we enter different, let's say this pin code is different, and submit it. So this will be changed. Okay. So whatever the details we enter in the current address, those will be available here. Similarly, permanent address details will be available here, and the same details will be stored in the database. Later, if you want to know the current address and permanent address of this particular work object, so we can retrieve it. Okay. Any question?
What if I want to give any condition that you can't change that?
Yeah, obviously. So we can put any condition. Let's say, yeah. So now, so this is copied again. I'm able to edit this, right? So we need to make it read only again based on the checkbox selection. Okay. So before we are going to do that. So we are directly removing the page, right? Let's say in some cases, in this case, okay, if the permanent address is different, then we can remove the whole page, and so we can allow user to enter the values. Let's say if you want to remove only the particular properties, or you want to assign, so you need to remove the data for only particular properties. In that case, again, you can do in this way. Let's say update page. Can we do like this? The same, right? So if you do like this also, it will work. So even without using update page also we can do, but for every set, every action, we need to put permanent address dot address line 1, permanent address address dot address line 2, etc. Okay.
Address to we already have selected.
One second. Country, state. Okay. So this also would be fine. Okay, so can we test this now? Let's save it.
Yep.
See now, it is working, right? So when you unselect, when you deselect the checkbox, getting removed, and if you select this checkbox, it's copied. So you can do in this way also. Or without using permanent address, this update page action directly, so you put set and put permanent address dot address line 1, permanent address dot address line. That will also work. Okay. So now this is how do we do? By using the data transform. The same scenario we can achieve by using activity also, but in this case, which one we need to choose? Data transform only. But if it is activity, so we have a method called page copy. By using that, we can achieve it. Okay. So can we do that by using activity? So you need to know all the ways so that you can determine which one is appropriate. So if you know only one thing to achieve some scenario, so even if it is not best practice, you will use that.
How to apply the condition?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, we'll do that. So now go to the which one we need to make it read only? Permanent address, right? So go to the permanent, go to the collect borrower details section. We can make all the section read only. So go to the cell properties of permanent address, go to the presentation. So here we have an option, read only always or read only based on the condition. So we need to make it read only based on the condition, not always, right? So if you have when rule, then you can directly call it. So instead of putting expression, okay. So you create when rule, that is best practice, and you can call the when rule here also, you know. So here you need to put in a single quote, right? So now, see, I selected the checkbox and I'm not able to edit it because it is synced. So if I deselect this, then yes, I can edit it.
If I have to read only one of
Again, you can do it. Like go to the collect borrower details, open the section, and make whatever the property you want. So this is to make whole layout. Okay. So if you want to make only certain properties, so go to this property. Let's say I want to make it read only address line 1, and so you can do it. Okay. So now let's do the same scenario by using activity.
Satya, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can we call an activity from a data transform?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have a function called px execute an activity. So we'll work on that later. Okay. So now
Okay.
go to the class, create an activity called copy address details. So here we have a method call. First listen, okay, then you can note down the steps. Yeah. So we have a method called paste copy. So it is used to copy the data from one page to another page. Okay. So copy into, and so data transform we can put, this is the page list if we put here, and that will be appended to here. And while copying the data, if you want to initialize some data, by using the data transform, you can put that. So, but mostly we don't use these two options in most of the scenarios. Okay. So we just, what is the from page and what is the to page, from which page you are taking the data, and to which page you are copying it. So now tell me, from which page we are taking the data and to which page? That means py work page. If I put in dot, that means py work page dot current address to py work page dot permanent address. Okay. So now, so we need to put the precondition in the same way. What is that? Current address, sorry, copy address detail. Take this. So if it is true, continue whence, otherwise. Okay, so have we discussed about these things, preconditions? Okay. Yeah, before this, so you know about label, right? This is identification of the step. So let's say, I have 3 steps. Based on the first step condition, I want to jump to the third step. You can do that. So in the first condition, you will put that label. So if the condition is satisfied, directly it will go to the step where you define the label. Okay. So the precondition, before executing this step, this will be executed, and this is also, here also you can call the when rule. This will be executed after executing this method. Okay. Precondition, the post condition. And this was step page, it is reference to the clipboard, and this is the description. This is optional field. If you want to write some description about that method, you can write it. Okay. So now, so you tell me, before this copying the data, we need to check it, right? So this similarly like this. First we are checking the condition. If the condition is satisfied, then this is getting executed. But here also say, if this is the condition, and here we have different options, right? If it is true, that means if this condition returns true, if this condition is satisfied, what should happen? And if this condition is false, what should happen? Okay, so if this condition is satisfied, we need to continue. Whence, if it is false, we need to skip the step.
Skip it.
So we don't want to execute this step. The page copy method will not be executed if copy address details is not equivalent to true. Clear? Or let's say if you want to jump to the later step, so we can jump it, and again we can skip the whence and continue whence. So now in this case, if it is false, we can skip the step. If it is true, either we can continue whence or else we can use the skip whence. Let's say we have the multiple when rules, we can call here like this also. Okay. So continue whence means if we have another condition is defined here, that will be executed. Okay. Since we have only one condition, either we can put this or this, both are. Skip whence means this also will be skipped and method will be executed. Clear? If it is true, this when rule will be skipped and page copy method will be executed. If it is false, the whole step will be skipped so that page copy method will not be executed. Okay, clear? So click on submit. So now copy the same condition. In the second step, if it is true, we need to remove the page, right? So we need to, if it is true, skip the step. If it is false, continue whence or skip whence. Understand? Because we
Okay.
need to remove the page. If it is true, we are skipping the step. Okay. That
Satyam,
means
could you
if it is
please
false, it will
show me
execute.
this pictorial representation if you don't mind, because I'm not getting this. If you want to skip this when condition, so how can I this method will be go like is we already give this
So,
condition is true, right?
yeah.
If you want to
So before that, yeah, I understand. So through activities we execute the methods, right? Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So before executing this method, let's say if this condition is satisfied, then only I want to execute this method. Okay. In the same, like it is alternative to the programming. So we write the code, right? If this is satisfied, execute this block, then we go to the different block like this, the functions. Okay, the
Yeah.
similar way here also. So before executing this page copy method, we are checking whether checkbox is selected or not. If it is selected, then only we need to copy it, right? Okay, so the
Yes.
page copy will be executed so that it will copy. Okay, that's what we are doing here. If it is true, we are ignoring this when rule. Okay, if it is true, we ignore this when rule so that page copy method will be executed. If it is false, that means checkbox is not selected, so that whole step will be skipped. Clear? Whole step means page copy will not be executed.
Okay. Got it, Satyam.
Yeah. So this first step will be executed when checkbox is true, and we need to execute the second step if checkbox is not true. The alternative to that, the opposite to that step, right? So either we can put the same condition and skip if it is true, or put false if it is false, continue, otherwise skip the step. If it is false, second step will be executed. If it is true, first step will be executed. So again, since we do not have multiple when rules here, either if you select this or this, both are. Okay, when this matter is like, let's say again I have a one more when rule. Okay, if this is false, I don't want to check the second step. So in that case, you can skip when. So it will not execute the second, third, fourth, whatever you have. Those when rules will be skipped. Okay. Continue means it will check another condition if it's specified, and based on that again execution will be done. Okay, clear? So since we have only one step, if it is continue means the method will be executed. Okay, so here what we need to do, we need to remove so we have a method called page remove to remove the page. Page copy is used to copy the data from one page to another page, and page remove is used to remove the page. So you can note down about these two methods. And and you can note down all the activity methods in one page, like whatever we worked on so far. So and I'm going to remove it permanent address. That means py work page dot permanent address page. So we can also put here, but for that, so you need to define in the page and classes. Note down about these two methods, page copy and page remove. So page copy is used to copy the data from one page to another page, and page remove is used to remove the clipboard page. So let's say I have multiple pages to be removed, so you can specify like this. If it is the top level page, do we need to specify dot? No. If
No.
it is the top level page, but permanent address page is available under py work page. Okay, so you need to put dot. So now can we call it and execute it? So go to the collect borrower details and let's remove the data transform and call the activity. Again, best practice is data transform only. So now see, let's enter all the details and let's select the checkbox. Okay, before selecting the checkbox, you open the tracer and say details copied. So now go here. Okay, data transform only executed. Okay, 1 second. So let me log off and log in back. So you can execute any flow and open the tracer and select the checkbox. Okay, see now what happened. So we selected the checkbox. So the first condition. So now you need to check thoroughly. So how many steps we have in the activity? 2 steps, right? The step 1, step 2. The step 1 is true and it is executed. Step 2 is false, so skip the step. Okay, so now let's deselect the checkbox and see what will happen. So now first condition is skipped. See, since it is false, it's skipped, and second condition is executed. So you see the status true, means like the condition true and this has been executed. So you don't see the details, right? So if you are not understanding about activity in this case, that is fine, because we'll be creating a lot of activities going forward in different scenarios. So, but in this case, you need to understand, how the data transform works. Okay. So, and that is the best practice. We don't go for activity if you have already data available on the clipboard and to copy, to the different page. Okay. In some cases, let's say you want to fetch the data from the database to clipboard, then you need to put the conditions and all. In those cases, generally we go for activity. Okay. So let's say I have a, so in the loops also we can use the page copy. So I have 10 pages in the page list and I want to copy, all those pages to the different page list based on some condition. Okay. So in this condition is satisfied for every page, it will take the data and copy into different page list or page. Okay. Any questions so far?
Why do we use a tracer? What is the use of tracer?
That's what, right? If you want to, let's say you have 10 steps defined in the activity and it is not working, somewhere it is failing. So you cannot go to the activity and you cannot check each step, right? But in the design time, it will not show any errors. Let's say I'm trying to fetch a single record from the database to clipboard. Okay, for that, what you do, you will write obj open and you will pass the, the class and key. And if you save it, it will be saved. So when you execute it, if the data is not available in the database, then only it will throw an error. That is the runtime error. So in order to, check the runtime process to see, execution process of step by step, we go for, tracer. So this is without tracer, we cannot do anything. So in the real times, we'll have a lot of rules being invoked in the flows, sections, in the flow actions, etc. So and so you must need to use the tracer to see all the rules. Okay. And we have, see in the tracer, we have a lot of other options also. And so if you want to trace those rules, we need to enable the checkboxes. So by default, activities and data transform checkbox will be enabled. So that is the reason we are able to see these steps. Okay. You understand, right? By tracer. It's a debugging tool. Okay. Yeah.
Satya,
Any
can
questions?
you explain
Yeah.
me a few standard table names in database in Pega?
Candid?
Standard table names in Pega.
Not getting.
Standard table names in Pega.
Standard tables. Okay. Yeah, we'll discuss that. So in order to store the assignments, so we have a, so that if I understand now, so other people cannot understand. So yeah, so I will explain that later. Okay.
Okay, sure, sir.
So we have, let's say, yeah. So in order to store the assignments, we have a PC assign work list. And so work basket items will be stored in, assign work basket, etc. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I will give you all the tables. So,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
yeah, so that's it for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you.
Satya, sorry.